Hello friends, and welcome back to Yoga with Jen. Today's flow is going to be centered around recovery from running. I do my long run on Sundays, and I know after that my body feels pretty beat up. You could use this after any running session, after any workout, but it is tailored to the specific muscles used during running. So for today, it would be awesome if you have 1 or 2 blocks. If you don't, you can supplement with a book or 2 pillows or nothing at all, and you can just make it work. Let's start in an easy seat. So I'm choosing to sit on my heels at this point because already I'm starting to stretch out the muscles in the front of my shins. If that doesn't feel comfortable for you, you can take a cross-legged seat, or you can also help by placing a block or 1 or 2 underneath you, getting the hips above the knees. And let's just settle into our space. Sometimes after a long run, I feel very energized. It's a beautiful thing, lots of endorphins flowing, a little bit caffeinated. But as soon as the run is done, we want to cue to our bodies, to our minds, and to our nervous system that we're starting the recovery process, because otherwise the risk is that it'll disrupt your sleep and subsequent days, and you want to get back to feeling good so you can hit that next training run nice and hard. So to send those signals to the nervous system, we'll focus on slowing it down and a little bit of attention inwards and to the breath to start this practice. And so maybe you're closing the eyes here. And let's work with the physical body first. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears. If you need, little rocks out to the chin. And then allowing the chin to find a neutral position. Softening all the muscles of the face, of the jaw. Fluttering out lips. And letting that wave of relaxation wash over you. Hands resting gently on body or in the lap. Starting to release any hold on the stomach. Softening the muscles of the legs. And softening the feet. Turning the attention towards the breath. Making no efforts to change, to manipulate. Just observing breath coming in through the nose. Breath softly exiting through nose or mouth. We'll take it into a 3-part yogic breath. So we'll breathe into the belly, breathe into the chest, and breathe into the clavicles, to your collarbones, feeling the expansion, and breathe out seamlessly on one. Nose or mouth. Let's try that again. Breathing into belly, into chest, into collarbones. Exhale. Keep going. Feeling the energy starting to shift. Starting to settle. We'll do that one more time. In belly, in chest, in collarbones, and let it go. Coming back to your own rhythm of breath. Noticing any new qualities within the breath, any new subtleties, any new length. Beautiful. Go ahead, blink the eyes open. We'll take the chin over to the right side. You can release your right hand down. That's going to create a little bit more of a stretch. Your left hand down. And then if you'd like to go a little deeper, the right hand comes over to the left ear. And we're not pulling, not yanking, but just letting the weight of the right hand settle on that left ear. Breathing some length into the left side of the neck. And if there's anything that I offer in this video that you feel like would be beneficial for you to spend a little bit more time, just pause, stay here, and then restart. So we're moving on to the left side. So releasing the right hand, curling chin onto chest. Left ear comes to left shoulder. And maybe that left hand comes to right ear. And drawing your attention back to the breath. Smooth and steady, in and out. Beautiful. Go ahead, release. If you're sitting on your heels, you can take that block, set it off to the side, and we'll come forward into a tabletop. So you'll tuck your toes under and then start to rock it back. So bringing your seat back towards your heels and then rock it forward. You might feel a little stretch into the feet, into the muscles along the front of the lower legs, in the calves. And this time we'll pause, bringing the seat onto the heels. Again, really important that the toes are tucked under because we want to start to stretch out the feet. And if you need, just use your finger to bring that little baby pinky toe forward. And then we'll start to walk the hands back towards the body. See if you can take your full weight onto your feet. This can be pretty intense, so just breathing here. Try it for 2, maybe 3 breaths. If there's any cramping or if it's more than you can bear, just bringing hands back down onto the mat, playing with the weight on the heels. Otherwise, we're going to stay here for about 10 total breaths. This is so good for the feet, for opening up the lower legs. And the more you do this, the more your body will get used to it. Anytime you need big release out of the mouth, maybe a little sound. The hard work is done. You did it. So now just enjoying the recovery. Amazing job. Replanting the hands, and we'll take it up and back into our first downward facing dog. Super gentle. You'll probably get the urge to start pedaling out the feet. Let's stretch the calves. For 3, for 2, and 1. We'll come back here, don't worry. So lowering the knees down to the mat once again. This time untuck the toes. And if there's any extra pressure that you're feeling in the tops of the feet, you can just tap out the feet gently on the mat. Then we'll bring the big toes to touch and start to send the seat back once again. And then you'll lift the knees off of the mat. So we're going for a stretch along the front of the lower leg. So you can play with this. For me, I'm quite flexy through my toes. So I start to feel the stretch right when I'm about here. And this is where I'm going to hold and breathe. You might feel it enough if your knees are on the earth or if you're just a little bit lifted. So it's pressure in the toes, big toes are touching, knees can go a little wide. And we stay here for 5, steadying breaths for 4, for 3, 2, and 1, lowering back down. So we'll take 3 rounds of this downward facing dog into that front of the shin bone stretch. Pop it up into your down dog. Again, walking it out, stretching right and left sides. Big breaths, lots of oxygen, creating that nice circulation. Maybe playing with hips side to side. And we've got 3, 2, and 1, lowering knees down to the earth. Untuck the toes. Again, knees a little wider, big toes touch. Go ahead, press it on up for this front of shin stretch. Holding for 5, big inhale. Let it go. 4. Invitation to bring in your Ujjayi Pranayama, helping you breathe through this discomfort, slight constriction in the back of the throat. Last breath in, here we go. And exhale, knees come to the earth. Good. We've got 1 more round. Untuck the toes, hips high, down dog. Options here, you can hold and just breathe into the backs of both calves. If you're feeling it, pedal out again. Up to you. Think about spreading sit bones, length through the backs of the legs, so the hamstrings, the calves. Really nice. And we'll lower down 1 more time. Untuck toes, big toes touch, and press it up. I've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Downward facing dog. Really nice. So look forward towards the hands. Step that right foot forward between the hands and we'll come on down into a low lunge. So lowering your left knee onto the earth. This is where your blocks can come in handy. So we want this to be restorative, not overly effortful, which means that it's great if you can place your hands on the blocks on either side of the body and start to allow the hips to sink down towards the mat. Couple places you may feel this in the hamstring or even the quad on the right side, and then most people will feel this, myself included, in the hip flexor on the left side. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you can even bend into the back knee, catch a hold of that back ankle. And if you're taking this option, you want to make sure that shoulders are still squared to the front of the room. And that this is still feeling restorative, not performative. Take a couple more deep breaths in and out. Good. Inhale. Exhale, transitioning into half split, sending the seat back in space, straightening out the right leg. The toes will flex up towards the sky, and then lowering down any amount, as much as you can, trying to keep the spine long. So super natural to have a curve in the spine, but because we are looking to open up the hamstring here, the straighter the spine, the more stretch you'll have here. Big deep breath in and let it go. You can always sink a little deeper as the body starts to open. Again, pausing anywhere that feels particularly juicy or useful for you. We all have our own little pain points. Take an inhale, rock it forward, set the blocks off to the side for now. Hands come onto the mat. Step that right leg all the way back to meet the left. Downward facing dog. Little pedal out for the heel. And we'll just take it right onto the other side. Left foot comes forward, lowering onto right knee. Notice if the shoulders are hiked up towards the ears. See if you can drop shoulders away, sinking into the right hip flexor. And if you took that option on the first side, you can go ahead, bend into the back knee, catch a hold with the right hand to right ankle. We'll do another stretch for the quads, so no worries if that's not your chosen option at this point. One more breath in. Exhale, transition to the back of the mat, half split, Ardha Uttanasana, or rather Ardha Hanumanasana. And letting belly melt onto the thigh. Each side might feel a little different. Know that that's totally normal. And know that we'll get a lot further when we work with our bodies and our idiosyncrasies than when we try to force one side to be equal to the other side. I learned that the hard way with a hip labrum tear this last year. So I'm working on just giving my left side a lot of tender love and care and letting it be okay that it doesn't always match the right in terms of flexibility and strength. We all have our imbalances. Couple more deep breaths. Really good. Come on forward. Set the blocks to the side. Pop it back, downward dog. And bending into the knees and ever so gently placing the knees onto the mat, bringing the seat towards the heels once again. So there's a couple options for this quad stretch. If you're fairly open and if you've worked on this, we're taking hero, also known as saddle pose. So this can be the full version of hero where your heels are coming just outside of your glutes. The knees are together, knees and thighs are together, and then you're walking your hands back in space, lowering to any amount until you get that really nice stretch in the thighs and the hip flexor. This is a lot. So other options here are taking a single leg variation, and I'll cue when it's halfway. So right side, left side. If this isn't working at all, you're coming onto your stomach and you're just catching the foot and letting the other hand support the head. Nice and easy. So wherever you are, breathing into the belly. Big exhale out your nose or mouth. Again, restorative, not performative. So if something's not feeling right or it's feeling like too much, let it go. And if you're in that half hero, you'll go ahead and switch over to the other side. Taking lots of care to support, coming out of this pose really slowly and going back in nice and slowly. About 4 more breaths. Think about sending breath into the hip flexor. And as you exhale, just softening into whatever shape you're in. Taking your time here, let's slowly make our way back upright. I like to support with the elbows and the forearms, then move to the hands. And just pausing. If you're on your belly, you can take a couple of windshield wipers side to side or just rest with the forehead on the hands. And just letting that stretch settle into the body. And from wherever you are, we'll all meet in child's pose. So if you're in that hero pose, bringing the shins back underneath the body and letting yourself fold forward. You can also let the knees splay out to the sides, big toes touch. Lots of softening into the low back here. Notice if you're holding any tension in your calves, in your feet. And see if you can let that seep into the earth and away. Take as much time as you need here. Whenever you are ready, walk hands back towards the body and we'll press it up into our downward facing dog once more. This time as you inhale, lifting up high on the tippy toes, and as you exhale, drop both heels to the left side, going for a nice stretch down the right side of the body. All the way from that shoulder, armpit area, down the side of the body and into the waist. As you inhale, come on back through center, high on tippy toes. Exhaling, heels drop to the right. And you can emphasize by jutting your hips out, little sassy hip to the right, to get that really good stretch in the left side body. Inhale, center. And exhale, release the heels down towards the mat once again. As you inhale, lift the right leg. And as you exhale, bring that leg on forward, coming into our pigeon pose. So knee comes towards the right wrist, and then the ankle comes towards the left wrist. You'll shimmy that left leg back in space. Again, really nice usage for a block or a pillow. If your right bum cheek isn't on the mat, if it's lifted up a lot, go ahead, support it with a prop. And that should make this pose a lot juicier for you. The closer this angle is with the front shin to 90, the more stretch you'll feel in the outer glutes. So modulate that based on the soreness in your body. And you can stay up here, or if you'd like, walking hands forward, lower it down, and just totally release. We'll hang out here for a minute or so. Nice option to place a block underneath the foreheads, giving a little extra support. And maybe rocking foreheads back and forth on that block, little massage. Notice if you're holding your breath. Notice if your thoughts are drifting off of the mat onto what's for dinner, what chores you have to do, or what's coming in the week ahead. And see if you can just bring it right back, really gently, to the breath, in and out. Yeah, really good. So we'll slowly start to come on out of this shape. And whichever way you want to transition to the second side, go ahead and do that. I personally love a downward dog in between. A little pedal just helps to shake out some of that energy. It's a pretty intense pose. And making your way onto the second side. Again, prop under the hip if you need. Two different sides of the body, two different experiences. And whenever you're ready, go ahead, take it on down. Good. We slowly start to come out. And you'll just lean into your left hip so you can bring your right leg on around. And a couple more stretches to finish this off. So bringing your right hand towards the right side, walking the fingertips away from the body. So we'll get a nice big stretch into the left side of the body as you lift that left arm up and over. Now, if you're feeling pretty open, this might be a little bit juicier. If you open up the legs, take the right hand or the right forearm on the inside of that right leg and lift it up and over. Round it on forward. Inhale. Exhale. Right arm comes up and over. Really nice side bend stretch. Good. Come on back through center. Now, from your cross-legged or from your straddle, bring the soles of the feet to touch. So we'll take this a little deeper into the groin. Take an inhale to lift tall through the crown of the head, and an exhale, fold it on forward. Softening into the back of the body. Softening the neck if it feels okay. And dropping the head. Inhale, walk hands back to body and gently take it on down to the mat. Just a couple more shapes to go here. My low back gets a little tight from running, so something that feels so good is wrapping my hands around my legs and just taking a couple little rocks up and down the back body. You can change your direction, so hitting different parts of the spine and the back muscles. If this is too energetic for your state right now, no worries. Just hold the legs into the chest and pause and breathe, giving yourself a little squeeze, a little love. And let's all meet there anyway. Take an in-breath. And drop both knees over to the right side. Gentle twist. If you'd like, open up left side arm. Take the gaze over to the left. Inhale, bring it on back through center. Drop the knees to the left now. Gaze and arm open to the right. Inhale back through center. Drop the knees into the armpits. Catch for the outer edges of the feet. That's your happy baby. And because this is run focus, let's roll out the ankles, flexing, pointing toes, both directions. Maybe extending one leg and the other leg, both. Maybe it's little rock side to side. Maybe it's stillness here. Go on and give yourself one last super nice juicy squeeze. Curl the forehead to the knees. Big inhale. And let it go, melting onto your mat. A few options for this last shape. Knees together, feet wide, super restorative. For a little bit more opening of the hips, soles of feet come together, knees fall wide. You've got any other shape, legs up the wall if you have the space, or your traditional Shavasana corpse pose. And let's just take a few deep breaths together to close this off. Invitation to use a little sound. Big sigh. Experiencing a moment of big, big gratitude for your body, everything it does for you, all the way it moves for you, shows up in the world for you, everything you're capable of. Inhale. And release. Reach the arms overhead, zip the legs together, nice big stretch through the whole body. Exhale, curl the knees into the chest one more time, big squeeze. Stay here for as long as you wish. And thank you so much for practicing with me today. And good luck on your next run. Namaste. See you next time.